Oak was a sairly humane man. A shed in his life had aye been that his flock finished up his mutton, that a day come and fund every herd a traitor to his defenceless yows. His first feeling noo was yen o' pity for the untimely fate o' they canny yows and their unborn lambs. It ta'en a second to mind another part of the matter. The sheep weren't insured. All the savings o' a scrimpet life had been blootered. His hopes o' being an independent farmer were cast down, mebbe's forever. Gabriel Smedham, thole and lang hours had been sairly pressed ower the years o' his life between 18 and 28 to reach his present position, that nae mair seemed to be left in him. He leaned down on the rail and happed his physog wi' his hands. Dwams, however, dinna last forever, and Farmer Oak pulled out his. It was as remarkable as it was just like him, that the yin sentence that he mumbled was yin in thanks. Thank God I'm no merry. What would she have done in the pairness new coming to us? Oak lifted his head, and wondering what he could do, wabbitly deeked around him. But the outer margin of the pit was an oval pound, and o'er it hung the shilpit beam o' a yellow moon, that only had a day or twae mair to last, the morning star to her left. The pool skinkled like a deed man's ee, and as the world wakened, a breeze blew, shugling and streaching the reflection of the moon without breaking it, and birling the picture of the star to a dazzling streak upon the water. All this Oak seen and mind it. As far as could be learned, it appeared that the young dog still hodding to the nori that sign he was kept for running after yows, the mair he did sae the better, had at the finish o' his meal o' the deed lamb, which might have gi'en him extra strength and spirits, gather all the yows into a corner, driving the timorous critters through the hedge across the upper field, and by sheer force o' trochling had gi'en them momentum enough to break down a pair to the rotten railing and sae hurled them o'er the edge. Geordie's son had done his work that weel that he was considered our git a worker to live, and was in fact ta'en out and shot at 12 o'clock that same day. Another instance of the unexpected fate that often meets dogs and other philosophers who follow out a train of thought to its logical finish, and attempt perfectly consistent behaviour in a world made up of mostly compromise. Gabriel's farm had been stocked by a dealer who was getting a cut for the farmer till sic a time as the down payment was cleared off. Oak found that the value of stock, plant and implements, which was really his ain, would be enough to pay his debts, leaving himself a free man with the claes he stood up in, and nothing more. Therein thrangs of villagers were still busy and doing all they could to keep down the bleeze, which wasna muckle. Round the corner of the biggest stook, out of the range of the fire, stood a pony with a woman on its back. By her side was another woman on foot. The twae seemed to be keeping back a bit, sae the cuddy wouldna be fashed by the fire. "He's a herd," said the woman on foot. "Aye, he is. See how his crook skinkles as he skelps the stook wi' it, and his smock has twae holes burnt in it. A good deacon herd he is tae, mistress." "Wha's herd is he?" said the cuddy woman in a clear voice. "Dinna ken, mistress." "Div the others no ken?" "No, naebody kens at all. I've asked them. Just an outsider, they tell us." The quine rode the pony out of the sheddies and gae fashed deeked around. "Div ye think the bairn is safe, Jan Coggin?" said the second woman, asking the question to the nearest man at hand. "Safe the noo, least I think sae. If this stook had ta'en a haud, the bairn would have been awa. I know, it's that gallus herd up there that's done the maist good, sitting on top of the stook, wheeking his muckle arms about like a windmill." "He did work hard," said the quine on the cuddy, deeking at Gabriel through her thick woollen veil. "I wish he was heard here. Does ony ye ken his name?" "Never heard the man's name in my life, or seed his physog afore." The fire started to dwine down, and Gabriel's position a bin was nae longer needed, so he started to sklim down. "Mary Ann," said the lassie on the cuddy, "awa to him as he comes down, and say the farmer wants to thank him for his muckle grand turn he's done to us." Mary Ann gaed off towards the stook and met Oak at the foot of the ladder. She passed on the message. "What is your measter farmer?" asked Gabriel, kindling an ore of getting work. "Oh, it's no a farmer, it's no a measter, it's a mistress herd." "A woman farmer?" "Aye, and a rich and an oss," said a bystander, "come here lately fra Ferr awa. Ta'en on her uncle's farm who died gae sudden. Used to measure his siller in half-pint cups. They say now she's got business in every bank in Casterbrig, and thinks nae mair o' playing pitch and toss sovereign than you and I do pitching halfpenny. No a bit in the world. Herd." "That's her there, on the bounty," said Mary Ann. "Where physog a happit, in that black cloot with holes in it." Oak, his physog smeared and clarty and unrecognisable for the smeek and heat, his smock scowdered, burnt into holes and dreeping witter, the ash stem of his crook 6 inches shorter, come up in the hummel way that coarse fate had clashed at him, up to the shilpit female figure in the saddle. He lifted his hat in respect, gae canny like, sauntering close to her hinging feet, he said in a swithering voice, "Do you happen to want a herd, mistress?" She lifted the wool veil rowed round her physog and deeked dumbfunner. Gabriel and his cold-hearted darling, Bathsheba Everdeen, were physog to physog. Bathsheba didn't speak, and he mechanically repeated in a dowie voice as he hung his head, "Do you want a herd, mistress?"